Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to SWE Origins Ranking Report. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rankings Report. We now have all of our champions here in SWE Origins. As in episode 25, just this past week, we crowned the first ever World Heavyweight Champion, that man being Ren Carter. Of course, we have multiple other champions as well, and we have 64 members of the roster here in SWE Origins, and we're going to look at the rankings for each of those championships, all four of the titles here tonight. Let's check out who the champions are. Of course, our world champion winning it this past week on episode 25, Ren Carter. He's our main champion. Then we've got his ally, who is the television champion. It is Brian Israel, the brand new SWE Origins World Tag Team Wrestling Champions of Pain and Rage, the Aberdeen Outlaws, representing the True Brutes. They won it in episode 25 as well, folks, in the opening contest against Hollow Magic in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And finally, the lower card championship, but the most prestigious perhaps, is defended every single week. It's the Scottish Heavyweight Championship, defended and held by Jake Samurai Taylor. So those are the championships. Let's check the rankings for all those championships. We're going to start off with the Scottish Heavyweight Championship rankings. The number one contender to the Scottish Heavyweight Championship is Kyle Wade. Kyle Wade has 28 points. He is the number one contender for Samurai Taylor's championship. Then we've got Rosalind Macy right behind him with 27 points. Then Scar with 25 points. Shane Ashton also with 25 points. Ryan Greatness also with 25 points. Dylan Snow has 24 points. Connor Starr with 24 points, Percy Patman with 24 points, Akeem Blade with 22 points, and Mike Claw with 20 points. I should say also the champion, Jake Samurai Taylor, he has 92 points as time of recording. But usually it would be the number one contender who is challenging for the Scottish Heavyweight Championship. But on SWE Origins House Show, episode 23, just not too long ago, Cowboy Jake Norton came out, and Cowboy Jake Norton said that he demanded Scar get a title shot in episode 26 of Origins, and the KO King said it's going to happen. So it won't be Kyle Wade versus Jake Taylor, it'll be Scar versus Jake Taylor in episode 26 of SWE Origins for the Scottish Heavyweight Championship. So there you go, that's very interesting. Also, I should say, Mike Claw just got in this position for his big Fatal 4-way victory on House Show episode 23 against Akeem Blade, Isaac Ward and Kyle Wade. Pinning Akeem Blade, that's why he is still there at the number 9 spot, and Kyle Wade did not take a pinfall, that's why he's all the way up at number 1 with 28 points. Carter James was at the 10th spot with 19 points, but well, Mike Claw has 20 points, and he just overtook him. So once again, number contender Kyle Wade with 28 points, Rosalind Macy with 27, Scar with 25, Shane Ashton with 25, Ryan Greatness with 25, Dylan Snow with 24, Connor Starr with 24, Percy Patman with 24, Kane Blade with 22, and Mike Claw with 20. As we move on to the tag team division, the new champions, of course, the True Brutes, the Aberdeen Outlaws of Pain and Rage. The number of contenders are the former champions of Joe Daniels and Noah Anthony, Hollywood Magic. They have 48 points. Black Dragon follow with, well, it's a big downfall, but they have 18 points. Do Black Dragon of Akira Shibata and Yu Tanaka. London Calling, they have 16 points. That's Alex Quinn and Eddie Williams. London Calling, 16 points. Then we've got Big Time. They have got 15 points. The Slater Brothers, 13 points. The Pitbulls, 11 points. And of course, German Havoc with 9 points. So there you go. And obviously, of course, the Sabbath are meant to be in this ranking, but of course we've got Mike Law and Connor Starr as well in the rankings, as well as George McGregor. We've got them guys in the rankings for the singles championship as well, because they do singles wrestling as well. These guys barely are ever in the singles division, that's why they're not in here. But if they were in here, they would be ranked 8th. They'd be final ranked as the Sabbath of Connor Starr and Mike Claw have the total of 5 points. They've only won one tag team match against the Pitbulls. But there you go, once again, now contenders are Hollywood Magic with 48 points, then Black Dragon with 18, London Calling with 16, Big Time with 15, Slater Brothers with 13, Pitbulls with 11, and German Havoc with 9. Let's move on to the Television Championship rankings, ladies and gentlemen. The champion is Brian Israel. Brian Israel has 77 points, and I should say Aberdeen Outlaws have 32 points, so there you go. But Brian Israel has 77 points. Brian Israel, the television champion, he has an 8-2 record, so that's very impressive. Right, 9-2 record, so that is very impressive. But here are his challengers. The number one contender is still Kenny Rose. Even though he defeated Kenny Rose, he's still the number one contender, as Rose has 47 points. But Sean Adams is right behind him with 46 points. Rose 47, Adams 46. Austin Silva there with 43. Trey Jordans with 40. George McGregor with 39. Ace Wright with 38. Isaac Ward with 35, Troy Barnes with 31, Ty Legend with 29, and Chris Killam also with 29. The reason why Ty Legend is ahead of Chris Killam is because Legend defeated Chris Killam on Origins House Show episode 22. So that's why Ty Legend is ahead a little bit. But there you go, man. It is very tight, man. The highest has 47, the lowest has 29. It's great here in the division of the TV Championship Rankings. So there you go. Once again, I will say it. Brian Israel has 77 points, and his number contender Kenny Rose has 47 points. Sean Adams has 46. Austin Silva with 43. Trey Jones with 40. George McGregor with 39. Ace Wright with 38. Isaac Ward with 35. Troy Barnes, country boy Troy Barnes, with only one loss, he has 31 points, 6-1. Ty Legend with 29, and Chris Killam also with 29. As we go on to our main championship rankings, here we go. This is it. These are the big names here for SWE Origins. Our champion, Ren Carter, just won it this week on episode 25 of SWE Origins. He has 75 points. The number one contender is Chavez, who has more points than our champion. He has 118 points. Holy smokes, 118 points for Chavez, former Scottish Heavyweight Champion. He's at the top of the rankings. Just crossed right behind with 107 points. They're the only two over 100 points. But they're not the only two ahead of Ren Carter as ahead of points, because Jay Bomber's also ahead of Carter. That is right, Jay Bomber has 79 points, only 4 more points than Ren Carter. So we've got the first three, they are ahead of Ren Carter in the rankings. Chavez with 118 points, Judas Cross with 107, and Jay Bomber with 79. Then we've got Cameron Blade with 65, Max Dales also with 65, Eddie Van Hazard with 64, Nate Hatcher with 63, we've got Johnny Flyer with 57, Michael Gray with 56, and Mickey Truth also with 56 points. The reason why Gray is ahead of Truth is because he's got a better record. Michael Gray is 6-5 with Mickey Truth is 6-6. So Michael Gray has a winning record, that's why he's ahead of him. Also, folks, in episode 26 of SWE Origins, the top 3 guys in the rankings, the only 3 guys that are ahead of Ren Carter here in SWE Origins of our world champion will face off in a triple threat match to see who will be the number one contender for the SWE Origins World Heavyweight Championship, who will face him next. I mean, technically Chavez is the number contender. We'll see if he can earn that spot as Chavez versus Judas Cross versus J Bomb in the main event of episode 26 of SWE Origins for that championship. Also, a controversial moment that Nate Hatcher, we don't know what's happening with him. He's apparently left SWE Origins, but he's still ranked just in case he comes back. But we don't know if he's left or not. We've not got word. We've got to hear from the KO King on that one. But I'll go through rankings once again in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Chavez with 118, Judas Cross with 107, Jay Bomber with 79, Cameron Blade with 65, Max Styles with 65, Eddie Van Hazard with 64, Nate Hatcher with 63, Johnny Flyer with 57, Michael Gray with 56, and Mickey Truth with 56. It's very close there, very close indeed. And let's look at the unranked competitors. The unranked competitors, we've got Adam Lewis, he has got 5 points. Angel Vortex with 2 points. Candy Vega's unranked, she's never wrestled. We've got Carter James with 19 points, just misses out on the Scottish Heavyweight Championship rankings. Cowboy Jake not had a match yet, so 0 points. Damien Sinister with 17 points. David Young, I believe, has 5 points. Desmond King has 5 points. Henry K. Watson not wrestled. Johnny Calzon has 17 points. KO King the GM hasn't wrestled. Kevin Riley, I believe, has 9 points or 8 points. What are the two? Ray Victory has 5 points. And Zach Hopkins has 11 points. Will Zeb Cunningham has 6 points. Those are the unranked competitors here in SWE Origins as a part of the rankings go. So let's go over all the rankings once again, just for context. Why the hell not? So you guys get it. The SWE Origins Scottish Heavyweight Championship. It is the lower card championship, but it is very prestigious as defended every single week against the top ranked guy. But in episode 26 it won't be, as Scar, well, Cowboy Jake Norton has demanded that Scar get a shot to the KO King, and that's going to happen in episode 26 as Scar will get that title shot. He's the number 3 ranked, but he's getting that title shot against Jake Samurai Taylor in episode 26. Jake Taylor has 92 points. Number contender is KO Wade with 28 points. Then we've got Rosalind Macy with 27, Scar with 25, Shane Ashton with 25, Ryan Greatness also with 25, Dylan Snow with 24, Carter Starr with 24, Percy Pacman with 24, Akane Blade with 22, and Mike Claw of the Sabbath with 20. The champions, the World Tag Team Wrestling Champions of SWE Origins, the True Brutes, 2/4 of the True Brutes, the Aberdeen Outlaws, Pain and Rage. True Brutes represent Scar and Cowboy Jake Norton as well. Don't forget about that, folks. But they're the champions with 32 points. Their number contenders have more points than them, and they're the former champions of Joe Daniels and Noah Anthony, Hollywood Magic, with 48 points. Then we've got Black Dragon with 18 points, London Calling with 16 points, Big Time with 15 points, Slater Brothers with 13 points, Pit Bulls with 11 points, and then we've got German Havoc with 9 points. The television champion Brian Israel has 77 points. He is the television champion. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the TV champ, folks. As number contender as Kenny Rhodes with 47 points, Sean Adams with 46, Austin Silva with 43, Trey Jordans with 40, Josh McGregor with 39, Ace Wright with 38. We've got Isaac Wood with 35, Troy Barnes with 31, Ty Legend with 29, and Chris Killen with 29. So damn close. And finally, once again, we have got the world champion Ryan Carter with 75 points. His number contender as Chavez. He has more points than them, as well as Cross and Bomber. Chavez has 118 points. Cross has 107 points. Jay Bomber has 79 points. Cameron Blade has 65 points. Max Styles also has 65 points. Eddie Van Hazard has 64 points. Nate Hatcher has 63 points. Johnny Flyer has 57 points. Michael Gray has 56 points. And Mickey Truth as well has 56 points. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the rankings. That is your rankings report for SWE Origins, as we have crowned all of our champions. Here they are once again. World Champion Ryan Carter, TV Champion Brian Israel, his close ally. World Champions, the True Brutes of the Aberdeen Outlaws, Pain and Rage. And we have got our men's singles lower card champion, Jake Samurai Taylor, is the Scottish Heavyweight Champion, but he's a hell of a champion, to say the least. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for the roster rankings. I appreciate you watching. We'll be here next month with another set of roster rankings. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a great edition of the roster rankings, the first of many more to come here for SWE Origins. Thanks for tuning in. Like if you enjoy, subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss any more SWE Origins action. Tune in next week for Origins episode 26, and we have got a great card in store for all of you, and I'll see you guys then. Peace!